So I finished construction of the processor. Currently it has the jump instruction, the ALU command instruction, and the write instruction. And this is actually the halt instruction now. It turns off the computer. And within the registers, currently there are only 16 registers, I have placed a program. The first instruction is to set the accumulator to whatever value is in this address, and in that address I have placed this number 10. The very next instruction, I'm telling the ALU to add the value at this address, and at that address I've placed this number, which is 12, I'm pretty sure. And so if I were to allow this to run, the value in the accumulator here would be, what's 10 plus 12? That's 22. I don't know what that would look like in binary, so let's see. That's interesting. That's not at all what I was expecting. I figured out what the problem was. The program flag was still on, and so it wasn't able to speak to it correctly. So it should work correctly now. Yes, this looks correct. That's 116 and 6. That's 22. So the way it's working is this is the program counter here. Now these are the two instruction catch registers. The sequencer here. This decoder here. These are all parts of the finite state automaton side of things. This is the ALU as usual, the register, or 16 registers. And here I have two multiplexers for routing. What else? So, the jump instruction. Here is a demonstration program of how it works. In the binary, I programmed it to first set the accumulator to 1, then directly after that, add 1, and then the instruction after that one is to jump back to instruction 2, and that's just going to keep adding from 1. The way the variables are held is each instruction has an opcode and an argument, and the argument is passed as a register address. And so you can have multiple instructions referring to the same variable. Also, the computer is capable of moving very quickly. In fact, this isn't even its top speed. Let me see if this is. Yeah, it appears that 4 is its top speed. Eventually, if it runs too quickly, things are just going to not work right because of latency. And the slowest thing in the processor is the bottleneck that makes everything not work correctly. And here is showing some of how it works in action. Uh, 4 isn't its top speed, is it? Because, as you could see, it probably didn't carry quick enough, and so the carry was dropped at some point, and it reverted back to 0. This time I completed the design of a program written in binary that starts the accumulator at 5, inverts the value and adds 1 to subtract, and decrements like this until it reaches 0, at which point it will return to the beginning of the program. This over here is what the components look like in operation. Over here you can see the registers being physically accessed. I'm not sure if this is a complete processor, but it's beginning to look like it's close enough. In order to optimize it, I would need to do a lot of hard work that would take a long time, and it probably wouldn't be worth it anyway. So I'm considering this project to be complete. Also, here's what the wiring looks like. It's a mess. Especially in these blocks here, where you can't actually distinguish what's happening.